them before. Go ahead and read our second one for us, Shazade. Right. So not only will we be talking about immigration, but we'll be talking about it in like the framework of our different branches of government. So what do our different branches of government do when it comes to the topic of immigration? Go ahead and read our last objective for us, Javier.
Since we'll be able to analyze various current events as they relate to the functions of the government.
Right. So we're going to talk about this current event and how it relates to kind of like the last of the different branches. Can I get 2 classroom managers? Just come to me. So I guess I'll get 3 so this can go out. Pass these out. If you need more, they're on my desk. So, how many of you have disliked a rule before? Silently raise your hand. And how did you feel when you didn't like that rule? What did you want to do, Marcus? You wanted to leave the camp? How did you feel, Kelsey?
I wanted to smash my room door.
You wanted to smash your room door. So was the problem with the consequence from, I'm guessing, breaking the rule? Or was the problem with the rule in and of itself? So was the problem with the consequences from the rule or the rule itself? Marcos? The rule itself? So how could you have changed that rule, Gerardo? By voting on it, right? So we've been talking about government for lots of different reasons, and like Gerardo said, he didn't like a rule. He possibly could have changed it by voting on it. And so one of the reasons we learn about government and things that are going on, everyone go ahead and put your computers that have masks or close it. So a lot of the reason why we learn about rules and whatnot is because, well, not rules, a lot of the reason why we learn about government and these laws is so that we know how to change the laws if we dislike one of them. So today we're going to talk about that specifically in the context of the branches of government, right? So if we want to change the world and country we live in to be a better place, we have to know how it works. Excuse me. So, how many of you all know someone who immigrated to the United States? Silently raise your hand. I know I do. Right? So a lot of us know someone who immigrated to the United States or came to the United States from another country. Put your hands down. How many of you all know someone who immigrated to the United States for a better life? Right? So I still see a lot of hands. Put your hands down. So we're going to talk about this in the context of immigration because there are a lot of rules and people have lots of different opinions on how immigration should work, right? And a lot of people come to the United States for want of a better life, but they don't always get to keep that opportunity. So we're going to start off today by watching a video about something called the Dream Act, okay? So as we're watching this video about the Dream Act, everyone's filling out their thought catcher that the classroom managers passed out, silently in their seats. So that's for you to figure out. So it says branch 1 and branch 2. Where it says next to branch 1 and branch 2, you want to write something. Do you need something? Oh, I don't know where it's at. You can go outside and look for it. Yours is one-sided? Okay, if yours is hole punched incorrectly, that's fine, but if yours is one-sided, silently raise your hand. The shots is. though, as you're watching this video about the DREAM Act, you need to identify which branch of government is working, and you need to answer the question. If you do not answer all of the questions, that is all right, because you're going to have the opportunity to talk with your thought partners about the answers to the questions, but you still need to be trying to answer these questions. All right? Cool.
Ten years ago, I received a phone call in my Chicago senatorial office. A mother was calling me. She was a Korean-American immigrant, had 3 children, and her oldest daughter was nothing short of amazing. She was an accomplished concert pianist who had just turned 18 and had been accepted to the Juilliard School of Music in New York. When they were filling out the forms for her to go to school, her daughter asked about her citizenship. And her mom said, "You know, I don't know. We didn't file any papers when we brought you here to America." So they called my office and we looked into it. And we found out that legally speaking, the answer was simple. That daughter had to leave the United States and go back to Korea, a country she had never known. Leaving America, where she'd gotten in the classroom every day to say the Pledge of Allegiance to our American flag and only knew one place. She'd done very well in life, but the laws weren't open to her becoming part of America. I didn't think that was right. To punish her for something she hadn't done wrong, it was just unfair and unjust. So I wrote the DREAM Act. The DREAM Act says if you were brought here as a child.
So remember, the instructions were that everyone is silently filling out the questions in the boxes for branch 1 as they're watching the video.
You have good moral character and attend college or enlist in the military, we're going to give you a chance to be legal in America and contribute to this country. The kids we're talking about are not a drain on society. They're the honor roll students, the star athletes, the talented artists, the class valedictorians. They're tomorrow's doctors and nurses and teachers, policemen, firefighters, soldiers, and maybe senators. And they deserve an opportunity to make this a better nation. Today I'm introducing a new version of this bill in Congress. I hope this is the year we can finally make these kids' dreams come true and pass the DREAM Act. We should stand up for these kids. They will help our military and they'll help our economy. Equally important, it's the right thing to do.
So before we move on and you all have the opportunity to talk to your thought partners, what branch of government kind of created the DREAM Act? Which branch of government created the DREAM Act? Daniel?
I think it was the Senate.
The Senate? So is that the branch of government or the group? Excuse me?
Executive branch.
No, not quite. Help him out. Toby.
Judicial.
Judicial? No. Help Toby out. Melissa. P. I'm sorry. I think they said y'all. The legislative branch. Remember, because the legislative branch is composed of 2 groups. And what are the names of those 2 groups? Crystal.
The House of Representatives and the Senate.
Right, the House of Representatives and the Senate. So I'm going to give you all about 3 minutes to go ahead and talk about the answers to those questions with your thought partner so you can figure them out. And I'll be coming around and helping people Shazade 3. So you should be looking at the paper and asking your thought partner the question. So what policy was it? So you come branch 1. So how does Senator Durden come up with the He was the star king of the United States. So how did she gave him the idea? Right, so that's how he came up with that idea. So you can go ahead and fill out that box. Yeah.
She got a call from a Korean mother.
You want to replay it?
What stopped a girl from being a full member of the
I'll replay it,
Society?
but y'all said it to be.
10 years ago, I received a phone call in my Chicago senatorial office. My mother was calling me. She was a Korean-American immigrant, had 3 children, and her oldest daughter was nothing short of amazing. She was an accomplished concert pianist who had just turned 18 and was accepted at the Juilliard School of Music in New York. When we were filling out the forms for her to go to school, her daughter asked about her citizenship. My mom said, I don't know. We didn't file any papers when we brought you here to America. So we called my office and we looked into it. And we found out that legally speaking, the answer is simple. That daughter had to leave the United States and go back to Korea, a country she had never known. Leaving America, where she'd gotten in the classroom every day to say the Pledge of Allegiance to one American flag and only knew one place. She'd done very well in life, but the laws weren't open to her becoming part of America. I didn't think that was right. To punish her for something she hadn't done wrong, it was just unfair and unjust. So I wrote the DREAM Act. The DREAM Act says if you were brought here as a child, with good moral character, and attend college or enlist in the military, then you get a chance to be legal in America and contribute to this country. The kids we're talking about now are drained in society. They're the honor roll students, the star athletes, the talented artists, the class valedictorians. They're tomorrow's doctors and nurses and teachers, policemen, firefighters, soldiers, and maybe senators. And they deserve an opportunity to make this a better nation. Today I'm introducing a new version of this bill in Congress. I hope this is the year we can finally make these kids' dreams come true and pass the DREAM Act. We should stand up for these kids. They will help our military and they'll help our economy. Equally important, it's the right thing to do. Years ago, I received.
So, oh, Shazay, what was the part you asked me to stop it at?
The one that said this where we're at the dream act.
This part?
Yeah, a little back. Yeah, right there.
Okay, I'll be back in a second. Thank you.
So I'll give you about 1 more minute to finish filling out your thought catcher. And then we're going to come back together as a group. Remember, you can talk to your thought partners if you need help. And you can also raise your hand and ask me for help.
You can send the book. Sorry.
So what do they do when they want to make the USA better? He thought that what was happening to her wasn't right. So what did he do? Right. Okay, she had a role too. What did she do to change her opportunity about the fact that she couldn't stay?
She went to college.
Okay, she went to college, and what else did she do? Who did she contact?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, don't worry about that other one. But what did she do to change the fact that she had to that she had to leave the United States? What did she do? She went to college, but what else did she do? Who did she tell her story to? The senator, right? And what did the senator do once he found out about her story? Right. He didn't tell her about the DREAM Act. He made the DREAM Act, right? He wrote it. Because what does the legislative branch do? No, that's the executive branch. They make the laws. Right? So, we're going to come back.